first couple of weeks that I was at BYU, I decided that I was like, I need to meet people. I want a guy friend, and so I downloaded Mutual, and I did like I'm just down for dates. I just want to get out there, meet people, and experience BYU. And
I swiped up on her because I was interested in her, and she swiped up on me because she says that she was just looking for a friend or something like that.
And he just kind of seemed chill. We started talking, and it was not at all like any of the other conversations I had had on Mutual. Like,
I was a little bit zany and weird in like the messages, like kind of quirky and smart. I think that's why she liked me, because
he was a genuine guy. I just wanted to be my friend. And it got to the point that I was like, you know what? I want to go out with this guy. So I asked him on a date.
We had planned like this entire intricate date that involved like crumble cookies, like all the generic like first date Provo things.
He wanted to make a shared Spotify playlist so that, we could put some of our favorite songs, get to know each other a little bit beforehand. And that ended up being a great idea, because when we got to our first date,
it all kind of fell apart, like every single bit of it.
And we drove to the mini golf place, and we were listening to our Spotify playlist, and we got to the mini golf place.
And it had been shut down for like 2 years.
And we're like, okay, plan B, I guess. So we went and we got like a cookie and maybe some chocolate milk at Crumble, and we just continued to talk.
And then we ended up getting lost on the way home. So it was a lot of like, plans falling apart.
And so that first date, we didn't really do anything, but it was probably one of my favorite dates I've ever been on.
It didn't really matter that those things were happening, because like we got to like really connect with each other. Like it felt so easy, and like I don't think either of us cared that the mishaps happened.
So just at the end of the night, I was like, you know what? I don't know where this is gonna go, but I definitely want to keep hanging out with this guy. I think we could be really good friends one day. So that was how it all started.
I think at a certain point, we had been going on so many dates, and Brenna was just, begging me to be her boyfriend. Pretty much. That's pretty much what happened, right?
He actually asked me the first time if we should be exclusive. A couple of weeks before we started dating. I had walked into his car. We had just hung out, and he got in his car and he drove away. And then I was walking back to my apartment, and he called me, and he was like, Brenna, like, should we be exclusive? And I said, ask me in person.
Should we be exclusive? That's so funny. I didn't know what to do. I was like Googling, like, how do you become a boyfriend and girlfriend with someone? Like, I was asking people advice for like, is there supposed to be some kind of discussion? Those 2 weeks were like terrifying. I didn't know what to think at that point.
I'm not gonna start dating someone over the phone.
And eventually it was one night when we were sitting, I think we watched Sky High, like the movie with like the superheroes, but they're in high school. And the movie ended and we were sitting on the couch holding hands, and we kind of like, we were at that point.
And then at the end of the movie, he was like, would you be my girlfriend? And I said yes.
She was begging me, but not with words, like with.
And he was begging me with
tell.
words.
Yeah. So we dated like intensely for like 8 months before going on our missions. We saw each other like every day. We were hanging out. We hung out so much freshman year.
And when we had started dating, we both knew we were freshmen. We were both going to go serve missions at the end of the year. And so when that time came, we got our mission calls like the Tuesday before COVID and the world shut down. And
we went home. We were apart, long distance. And it was like a month before going on my mission. And I was like, I can't leave without seeing this person I care about so much.
Because we were still together, even though we couldn't really be together in like physical distance, because it was kind of a distance. But
I just invited her out, got the plane ticket. She came out to New York. No, it was New Jersey at the time. And that was crazy. It was like a week. And when you go for so long without seeing someone and then you see them again, when you really care about them, it's just like this amazing feeling. And it was so weird. It was like everything that had been put on pause was just like, it was all together again.
we both kind of knew what was going to come at the end of the week. And so it was pretty sad saying goodbye.
And then it was missions. Like I said goodbye, and then like 5 days later, I was done. I was in the MTC.
We had decided we would still try to talk, and that maybe after our missions we would try something again. Then I started my mission 3 weeks later, and it was definitely weird because we still kind of acted like we were still dating in a way, because
there's that part of you that like wants to exist, but you can't let it exist. So it was like in me, and like I was thinking about her all the time, but I could only send her stuff on P-Day.
Yeah, we continued to just talk, write emails, write letters.
Like handwritten letters. Mine were really, really beautiful.
They were really good letters. They weren't as like frequent, but they were worth it.
Would you say they're like masterpieces of like literature?
Yeah, and mine were of art.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, she drew
I would send him doodles.
dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah. This is actually the first letter he sent me. So mind you, this was the first letter. I had already sent him a couple, so he felt bad. So he sent me like 5 pages.
It's like this guy that died in Bull Run, and he knows he's going off to this big battle where he's probably going to die. And I just like copied the letter, but in like MTC terms. Brenna, my love with, and then I have love crossed out. My friendship with you is deathless. It seems to bind me with mighty cables that nothing but omnipotence can break. And yet my love of Christ comes over me like a strong wind and bears me irresistibly toward the mission field.
So I got back in January of 2022, and he got back in June. And so in between that time, I had gone on dates with a couple other people, but I was like, I kind of knew that I was interested in Sam still. So when he got back,
we FaceTimed for the first time, and that was like, it was like everything that was in the archives of my brain just like came all flooding back at once, like just as we started to talk to each other, and I like really, really, really started to feel just like the feelings for her that I did before. And
I didn't really have much to do, and he had just gotten back, so he didn't have much to do. So we would spend hours talking to each other.
And it got to the point where it was like, I have to see her in person. Like, I can't wait for school to start. So I invite her out.
To go to New York to go see him before school started. And as soon as he asked me, I was like, if I go, I know I'm going to just fall in love with him all over again. And so I told him that. I was like, are you prepared for these repercussions? And we were like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. We both we want to see each other again.
She comes to New York again, and that was like boom. It like all of the like, it was like we were in a relationship again, except we weren't in a formal relationship. It was that way for like a week.
We got to spend time together in New York, and eventually he asked me to be his girlfriend again.
And then continued dating. Everything was good.
And then about like halfway through the semester, I was like, you know what? I've loved you for more than like 3 years. Like, I don't think I'm going to stop loving you anytime soon.
And then I decided to fly out to Chicago and propose her and just go out there. So I basically had this entire secret plan that I had to keep from her for like 2 months about, you know, getting the ring and like getting to Chicago. All the siblings had to be in on it.
Then Christmas Eve, he surprised me. My whole family was in on it. I had no idea because I had been reading my book for the last week. I was not aware of anything. And so, yeah, then we got to spend the rest of break together as fiancés.
And then here we are. I can't think of anything to say. I love you.